What's going on, y'all? This Greg. Greg said it. Back with another night edition. And, the world is in an interesting place. It's like a transition in a lot of ways. You can feel it in the air. You can feel emotions and change. You can feel it. You should, right? We talked about some of those things on Sunday. Inspiration, motivation, the deeper things, the things that you can't see, the things that some people want to ignore, but you can't. You live long enough, you live strong enough, you know better. All the anger, hate in the world can't erase that. You can lie to yourself, but you know something more going on. You can feel that. Colorado's at that place. The parallel there, Colorado is at a decision. They're at a crossroads. The worst start in the Coach Prime era, no matter how the season went. They started out 3-0 first year. As hard and challenging as it was, ranked his first year. They ended 4-8 with a lot of help, a lot of weirdness. I talked about that before. Last year, 3-1. This year, 1-2. We can see what they do. At best, they'd be 2-2. The worst in Coach Prime era, period, anywhere. He didn't have the issue at Jackson State in neither year. So, it's different. This is also the first year without Shador. Ironically enough, the biggest challenge he's having is not only finding leadership, but leadership at the quarterback spot. That's the most unpredictable and most challenging component what he had right now. He didn't have to ever deal with that. Not just because his son, but his son was doing good. Only fool would deny that. We have to argue it was at the college level. We know where he was. That was not a question. His son was going to lead, and he was going to perform well. One of the most accurate quarterbacks in college football. Broke all kinds of records everywhere he was. Touchdowns, passing percentage, yards, every single year. He was a leader in that. Not just in this conference, but in the country. In some category, multiple categories. Now he has to figure out how to keep this thing all together with 3 different quarterbacks. A senior, a red shirt sophomore, and a true freshman, a 5-star true freshman that could have went anywhere, but he chose to go there. He felt something special that he felt he was the next man up. He felt he had opportunity. He could easily find himself as a 2nd or 3rd quarterback. Or maybe he can get his start. What a big mystery. A broad swing of possibilities when you look at. Stop. Do you dare put him back out there again and give him another shot after what happened? Probably not. Do you go back to Salter? Or do you say, hey, Juju, it's your turn? And how does that impact the team? What is best? He's in a peculiar situation. What's best for the team? Because whatever decision he makes, everybody's already on him. Whether he's doing good, bad, happy, or sad. The media's on him. The fans is on him. You gotta be very careful what decision you make. And this is a man who fought back from bladder cancer just months ago. He's already done the miraculous. Fast surgery, healed fast, back running around, diapers and all. Like you say, Coach Prime got draws. Coach Prime had his toes cut off. He has bounced back from everything while maintaining focus, which is very hard to do. Keeping this the priority at the stake of his own health. For what? I don't know. Can't just be for money. His sons are gone. He's done what he need to do. Yet, all of this he's going through. One thing for sure, he better have God, like you say. You talk about God, he better have it. Because this has got to be mentally and emotionally taxing on levels that very few people will ever experience. Because they're never doing anything significant. Or be in position to do anything as significant as this. You're leading lives. You're on a major stage. You got people feel like it's their duty to see you fail make sure you fail, hope you fail on every natural and spiritual level. We hear about people summing up witches to get people killed. I've heard it for years. I don't think none has been sent his way. Especially all them witches over there. Didn't want them there. I mean, open witches out there in Colorado, like I said before, for a couple years, complaining about his praying and all that God talk. Don't think witches ain't throwing stuff his way for people who celebrated another man getting killed who openly they said they had witches going after him. So we know, possibilities of it all. Yeah, it's just football. At least it seems that way. Or does it? It's a heaviness about it all. It was weird, first year teaming up against him. He's not good, but you put so much energy in the media, the whole circus of the big noon, bit tour coming back to back there at the same time. It was just weird. It's like, I ain't never seen that like this before. We ain't seen it since, but next year you can see all that, but the team did better. This year, let's see what he can do. Got a lot swinging this way. I surely hope him and his staff are not working against themselves, because then you got the fans, right? The supporters question, is it really a thing where you want to win? Is it favoritism? Is the best players on the field? Your supporters, oh my goodness, that's about all you got left outside of yourself and your family. It's a interesting, sad thing. The thing is like it's all crumbling down, and it's all built on how you respond. Should they beat Wyoming this week? Absolutely should beat Wyoming this week. But how? Do you do it convincingly? Do you do it showing you learn from your lessons? Can you really learn from lessons that fast, especially being this stubborn this long and ain't showing signs? I don't know. I don't know, would you be willing to make drastic changes? Now, if you were, are you able? But even on the worst day, even Vegas would say they should win. But then they got the meat, the thickness of the schedule coming right back to back to back. No matter what they say, it ain't the weakest conference ever. At least they're competitive. They may not be no Ohio State, but they're competitive. BYU's and the Iowa States of the world. You got to go see TCU playing better. And possibly, quite possibly, they're better than the Houston team they face. We'll see. Houston really don't have a lot of weapons. Quarterback, all right. It was at times, it looked like Colorado could have came back, but it just played very weak. It was a point where Colorado was only down 6 points, even after all of that. And then they kind of let Houston eat the clock up and then pull away. They kicked about 5 field goals, at least 5 field goals. So they would just get down the field methodically and then kick a field goal, go down the field methodically, kick a field goal, while Colorado couldn't score. And when they did score, they ate a lot of ground quickly, put Houston on the heels. But because Colorado can't score, remind me a lot of the Kansas game last year. Colorado have a chance because Kansas ate up all the clock. If you can do it, that's the way to beat them. Even with Shador there, keep them off the field. The defense got to get themselves off the field. Then you got Livingston go put everybody on the line, and they still can't do gap assignment, and they really don't have a second level, and they just gash them. Boop, boop, boop. I don't even know how that's possible. You got everybody in the gap. You got more people in gaps and more people on the line than on the line. Somebody dumb enough to let one man block two. Because I don't know how. They gave block 2 guys. Somebody coming free. But then you coming free and you missing tackles, which we've seen that in that Kansas game, Kansas State, and this year. So who cares if you come free if you're going to miss tackles? Which is a whole nother problem. But I do see them well off. They doing more tackle drills. It makes a whole lot of sense. But it also makes a lot of sense. They should have been doing it all summer because it's been a problem for 2 years. And you should just be over, okay, I ain't going down. As best as possible, which I see they hitting and wrapping up and driving their feet, they still don't want to go down. Because somehow they're convinced that the ground causes injuries. Newsflash, it don't. The ground is not causing injuries. It's typically when you go half speed or 3/4, whatever. That's when you usually get injured. I know that, even personally. Going full speed is not necessarily the time you get injured, especially in just basic football, running into each other. I mean, you do that for fun your whole life, even from Little League, Oklahoma drills, stuff like that. As long as ain't nothing crazy, nobody can hit you low, nobody can hit you from behind. You typically don't get injured from just going head up. And that's where the plays Colorado's missing the most, head up. That's what's hurting them. That's why the defense can't get off the field. When you get run through 5 guys who could have stopped the third and short or the third and even long, or the yards out the catch, the arm tackles galore. That's why they couldn't get off the field. Not because they wasn't there. That's why you say, oh, it's hard to blame the coordinator. It is. Yeah, I would prefer to see a lot of stuff, but if you made the tackle, it ain't that bad. Because you was there. It ain't always the prettiest, but you're there. You think the offense, they can say, oh, they're not executing. They're not. But the defense got to get off the field. They can't give up 12 minutes in a quarter to the other team. So, Colorado has to make some decisions. It don't look like it's going to be OCs and DCs like people want. You can't go get new players. Maybe you change some personnel. But overall, you got to do the fundamentals right. You got to figure out how to do the fundamentals right. You got to make the tackles you're supposed to make. You got to make the blocks you're supposed to make. You got to make the runs and the throws and the catches you're supposed to make. When you look at other teams, they're not dropping a lot of balls back to back. They're not missing a lot of tackles back to back. And when they do, you're looking at a losing team. But you really shouldn't be saying that a whole lot at the college level. You got scholarship players, high quality scholarship players. It's not low level football. You ain't got to be the best, but you can do the basics, the fundamentals. You ain't ask you to climb walls, jump off ceilings, but make a tackle, make a block. At least 70% of the time, 75% of the time. Don't just getting beat, missed tackles. Who knows what's the cause of all of it? But somebody got to figure it out. Because you can't take much more. It's going to feel a lot like the first season. The first season, it was in the games and they were losing. It was on a couple games that got blew away. And they had a lot of ref help and penalties and at all the wrong time, questionable stuff. Not calling stuff that hurt Colorado. So, Wyoming's an important game. But it don't stop there because you got so many big games back to back. You hope that they figure it out. Because you can end up down a slippery slope. And just losing in Colorado is not the same just losing anywhere else. It's just 1 week, get ready next week. Oh, the media, everybody talking about it. It's a lot heavier. It's a lot more to it. It comes with it, like Coach Prime say. They say, a fan on the blower is hot. I guess. Somebody had to turn that fan on. Colorado brings a lot of tension. People like us bring a lot of tension. And, we're in a world now where people feel like, oh, because you open your mouth, you deserve something because other people disagree. You deserve harm if other people disagree. They've been saying that about Coach Prime for years, and the same fools will be wishing harm on other people, but then they act like they Coach Prime fans. But they've been saying Coach Prime deserves to lose for years because they don't like him running his mouth. And don't let fools say only one color feel that way because they dogged him out of Jackson State. Keep arrogant. I heard it myself. You ain't even heard it, some way. Come with it, I guess. You cut that fan on, and people use it against you. I hope Colorado players realize the situation they're in. Like I've been saying the other years, they got to realize. High praise, high exposure, come with high criticism. More people watching you. And because of who you associated with, they even more critical of you. They're not treating you like no kids. They got high expectations. And they hoping you fail because they want to see him fail because they hate he run his mouth. Or they hate he talk about God secretly. They don't want to admit that. Whatever. You going to by default be associated with that. So you got to win. You got to play ball. You can't take for granted. It ain't another option. You got to win. You got to perform. Or it's going to hurt a lot more than somewhere else. Not just locally, but nationally. And for those people who think they're going pro, you see what they're doing. You see all them good athletes that make the team, barely make the team, had to go in on there as free agents at the end of the draft. Even Shador, Mighty Shador with the number retired. They made an example of him. Third string. Do you really think you can afford to have a mediocre season and ever think you go to NFL? Yeah, you might be talented enough. But you think they're going to let you scrape in from Colorado? You think, unless you really, really prove it undeniably, you think they're going to let Colorado put that many players in the league? So I hope y'all didn't get comfortable being mediocre or average, because that's going to be just another reason for them to take it from you in the name of, we're going to let Coach Prime put all these boys in the NFL. Credibility. So if you don't want to do it for your team, you better do it for yourself. Or your career. It's over. All them 38 seniors, don't think it's sweet. There's some boys still trying to make teams, never got a shot at the next level. So get your butt whooped if you want to. It's over. Ain't no mercy. Looking at it. I'm just Greg. Greg said it. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment. I'll be talking to y'all soon.